What up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the Brunch Gimmick. I, of course, am Laurence Cartse, and this week I am joined by the voice of LPW, the king of Saturday night, late night, Big Bad Boris. Boris, how are you doing?
I'd like to point out I am still not on the brunch intro, regardless of taking photographs with a coffee cup like 2 years ago. But that's okay. I'm not bitter. Thank you. The king of Saturday night. I think that should be merchandise. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Had a crazy busy weekend because out here in Montreal, it was technically today's the last day, but pretty much everyone's gone at this point. There's only like a few shows today, but there's the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, which is like it's gone through several changes over the years. Like it just changed ownership, but like is the biggest comedy festival in the world, and one of the most respected ones.
Yeah, it's a pretty world famous thing.
Yeah, and I for years I always try to go as many shows as possible. So I went to 3 shows this year, and I went to go on the Thursday. I went to the Love It or Leave It podcast with John Lovett from the Pod Save America guys, or one of them, John Lovett. And that was a lot of fun. I went to see Nick Mohammed on Friday, who is famously on Ted Lasso. He plays the equipment manager who becomes a coach. And he does that show. Again, what I love about Just for Laughs is it's happened quite a few times. I see somebody I might like, but I don't know exactly what their show is going to be. And this one was a straight up variety show he does in character, a character called Mr. Swallow, which is based on a teacher that he had. And there's a very fun end. He does a really, really good job with it. He's high energy the entire time. If you have a chance to see his Mr. Swallow show, go ahead and watch it. And last night the show started at 12 a.m. So I'm running on fumes today. I went to go see Roy Wood Jr., who used to be on The Daily Show, is now on CNN. That was it. And also saw in between now and the Friday, I went to go see before Nick Mohammed. I went to see Fantastic Four, and I went to, because I had time in between, the F1 movie.
Oh, you're like a guy who leaves the house. What's that like? Seems like a lot of
exhausting,
fun, a lot of work.
God, last night, on my way home, before I went home after Redwood Jr., I'm there's the $2 peanut butter chow mein place, which is just a Chinese food restaurant that closed down for the night and has a stall open that just serves this. I'm gonna walk there, but walking up St. Lawrence, the Saint Laurent, if anyone knows Montreal, that street is the after hours in the clubbing district. So it was a waking nightmare walking through the mass clusters of people outside of each club at 2 a.m. I really wanted this food. I just wanted no part of all these people dolled up going to clubs. But yes, outside of that, I just want to shout out to everyone in the chat. Sandy, hello. Ophelia, Fernando, Zach, Maria, thank you for joining us today. Of course, we're going to lead off by talking about Hulk Hogan.
So that is the peanut butter chow mein from their Facebook page. It actually looks fabulous.
Oh, it's great.
It looks as good as advertised. Sorry, anyway, continue.
At 2 a.m., that stuff hits. And it's even better, like I said, it's even better in the morning. Like, leave it in the fridge, let that sauce congeal. So good. Boris,
my food congeals.
Oh, that sauce he puts on there, it's so good. First off, what were your thoughts when you heard Hulk Hogan passed? How like, now that a few days has passed, what are your feelings about it?
So I've talked a lot about this because we did a bunch of streams this week, and I did Saturday Night Live last night, which was a lot of fun. If you missed it, you can go check it out on Twitch on demand. We watched episode 1 of Hulk Hogan Celebrity Championship Wrestling. How old are you, Lawrence, if I may ask?
I'm 35.
Okay, so I'm an older guy, so I lived through like peak Hulkamania in the 80s. I was like the perfect age. He was my hero. He was my favorite wrestler. I had the Hulk Hogan workout set and the whole deal. So I'm having to compartmentalize a lot because I will be the first to say said some horrible things, did some horrible things in wrestling and out of wrestling. But you also can't ignore the effect that he had on the business. So there's a lot of compartmentalizing for me of art and not the artist kind of thing. But I would have thought Flair was going to go first. Talked about this, but it's definitely a shock, and it's weird for me because within the span of a couple of months, my favorite wrestler of my childhood and my favorite wrestler of my grown-upness both passed away within a couple of months of each other. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah. So like, I've had quite a few days to sit on this, and I haven't really had a chance to talk about it. My feelings are very much like you've
been pretty outspoken on the social medias a little bit.
Yes. Like on my socials, I did I'll put it this way. Like, my personal and like to my core red line is like where like I can immediately just cut everything off is racism. Like
the hard R N word. Yeah.
But it's not only that, and like I've listened to a lot of people talk about it. Like I was listening to Cam Hawkins talk about it on Friday on our friends on In the Weeds on the Fightful Overbook. He talked about his feelings, and like I agree with him a bit. Like if it was just that, and there was a way out of that for him, had he shown contrition, apologized, and done work, like been at least done the work to be anti-racist and like done stuff to actually help, there was a way out there. Except the man doubled, tripled.
Now that you mention it, that never really happened, did it?
No, and not only that, but doubled and quadrupled down on the racism in his last few years, to the point. And there's other David Jones Jr. He was on. I retweeted his article, who basically put down my views like exactly as I was thinking it. Like a lot of people like Hulk Hogan was already dead to them before the actual human being passed, like myself included. Like I was a legitimate Hulk Hogan fan. It's literally sitting in the back of my closet. I have a like the kids one, but like a world heavyweight title signed by him when I met him at a Comic-Con.
Okay.
Like I was a fan, like especially like I came in later. It was when he like returned to WWE or WWE, like just at that WWE WWF time in 2002. Like I was 12 years old at that point. So like it did grab me at that point. Like the match with The Rock at WrestleMania X8 at WrestleMania 18 in Toronto was like big for me.
See, that's a lot of people's like Hogan Andre. That's a lot of people's Hogan Andre that for like the younger generation. That iconic kind of WrestleMania thing.
Yeah. And like there was that, but like everything that has come out about the man. And it's just like I can't mourn him. Like he was gone for me a while. Like it was like Boris, sorry. Like I was saying in the chat, the what he said about the car crash and how he doesn't want his to be reincarnated as a black person. Like
he said that?
Yeah, yes. When his son, after Nick,
I know about the accident and Nick's friend passed away.
And then he said it would have been karma for him and his son to be reincarnated as black people. That was what he was worried about. He was worried about that. That was again.
Wow.
How racist do you have to be twice caught on tape being incredibly racist? Like,
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, like let's be honest. Like people say, oh, because he's a Trump supporter, people don't know. The Trump supporting just goes in part and parcel in line with his racism that he's gone. Like I understand why, like especially a lot of people in the chat still love him and want to love his work. And I get that. But for me personally, like it's thing after thing. It's the union busting, which again, like those are my personal politics like that. As much as people like say he grew the business, stuff like that irreparably damaged the business.
Even like the tombstone from Taker where he bullshit lied to him and said that he heard him, and then Taker looked years later at the footage and his head didn't come anywhere near the mat. Like that's dirty shit. You're turning me on Hogan. I mean, I was turned already, but I've been clinging to like 1986 11-year-old or 10-year-old Boris scraps. And like
you will always have those memories. It's with him, it's especially polarizing. And like I saw people online who were defending him and saying they were saying like, oh, please don't speak ill of the dead, or like don't be disrespectful to him. I'm like, the only person you have to blame here for people being disrespectful to Hulk Hogan is Hulk Hogan.
I do not subscribe to the don't speak ill of the dead thing. If you're a shithead, you're a shithead.
Yeah, my thing is especially too is always shame racists because that's how you stop people from being openly racist.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, is seeing the reaction make racists less comfortable at all times.
Yeah, remember when they just hid in the shadows and all that? Yeah, him standing on stage at the RNC was disgusting. It was yucky.
Yeah, like but again, like it just goes to who he was. And like I so badly it's been brought up, like if this would have been a different conversation if he had passed like 20 years ago, or like if he like died in 2005, we would be having a totally different conversation, and he would be like, even the tribute WWE, like it would be month-long tribute. Everyone, like you would have seen everyone in Hulk Hogan colors, like wearing Hulk Hogan armbands and stuff throughout the matches. But like, at least a lot of the wrestlers backstage were not comfortable wearing Hulk Hogan stuff. Like,
what did they do on SmackDown? I didn't see.
I think they just did a 10-bell salute, and Cody Rhodes gave a speech afterwards.
Okay.
And he like did address some of the controversy about it. But like in past, like there is controversy about him, I understand. But like he did give a like company line. But like if he passed years, like the conversation would have been completely different. We would all be talking about his accolades, with like comfortably talking about it. And like we wouldn't have this massive thing where like he was a terrible person. Like he was one of the most influential characters on pop culture history. And like there is like part of it that does bug me is and it's the same thing for Vince McMahon, is the almost like hello Zach and or Spencer, unless it's both of them at the same time and they fuse to one person in the chat. But like it's the almost like after like, because they repeated so much, like the almost propaganda that Hulk Hogan and like that surrounds Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon, where like wrestling wouldn't exist today without them. Would it be different? Yes, but like the WWF would have still been there. Wouldn't probably wouldn't have been as big. It probably wouldn't have been as big, but it still would have been there. They would have made another star who, granted, wouldn't have been as big as Hulk Hogan. Wouldn't propel them to those big heights at first, but like I think like wrestling would have been changed, but it still would have been there. To say no one would be here without them, I don't think it's true. I think there would have been other stars who like Vince McMahon would have made. Like if you're going to be honest about Hulk Hogan, he wasn't like a creative genius. It was everything that was sort of given to him, and he was able to run like he had the larger than life physique, and he just had a natural charisma, which was able to get him way further. The other person who was able to do that was The Rock, which like The Rock was more athletic than he was. But like, again, Hulk Hogan had a natural charisma that no one else on earth had, which helped you accentuate the positives and hide the negatives of Hulk Hogan, which is like the in-ring skill and just the fact that like everything that he had was pretty much handed to him. Like the NWO, like was Eric Bischoff coming to him with an idea to turn him heel and him agreeing. And like that was the like second savior of his career. Because like when he left WWF, his popularity was on the downside. And that's definitely why that's why he went to movies.
Can I want to sorry.
Like they're both bad things. They're both awful things. Like I think being a deplorable racist is also bad in its own right. Like those are both things where I don't want you around the things I love. Like when you think of a whole group of human beings as less than you and beneath you, and like just like the most vile things about somebody just because of the pigmentation of their skin, I don't think you're a good person at all.
I want to comment on a couple of things that Fernando said in the chat, with all due respect, because Fernando is a good dude. Plenty of time to list the negatives of Hulk Hogan. Why now? The man just died a few days ago. We've been listing the negatives of Hulk Hogan for decades. So this is not a new thing where he passed away. We decided that we wanted to just, pick on him. And also... everyone living in glass house. That's fair. I mean, I understand nobody is perfect, but some people are a lot less perfect than other people. And everyone living in glass houses doesn't mean that somebody doesn't deserve to get kind of called on.
I'll say this.
And how long do you condemn someone for saying racist things? I don't think it should be a life sentence. I don't know. I have a tough time with the racism thing. My brain is saying it's a bad look, but that's not the right words. It's just that's a hard thing to overlook. Like I know people are saying like he didn't, it wasn't like Chris Benoit, but I mean, you compound all the things, and it's not good.
Yeah, like
that's why for me there's a lot of compartmentalization between 10-year-old Boris and 48-year-old Boris. But I respect your opinion, Fernando, and I hope you don't think I'm picking on you. I'm just kind of counterpointing. I think you're a good dude, and I appreciate you always checking out streams and commenting.
Yeah, I agree there. The thing is the only person to blame for that is Hulk Hogan. Once again, like it sucks, but it's his fault. And if he made any attempt within the last few years of his life to make any restitution for what he said, or like any attempt to be like this,
my man,
like what I said was disgusting and thing, again, we'd be having a different conversation. Most people would be like, all right, as long as he's trying to make the work to be a better person. It's like, yes, a lot, like, again, no one's perfect. We've all made mistakes. Like I haven't made a mistake that nearly that bad ever. And when I make a mistake, I apologize for it and try to do my best to move forward and try to make it better to the people I've wronged, which he did not. Like even like people who are trying to like Kaz from the Masked Man podcast was on CNN, and he was trying to like they were trying to do like a more positive like career rep thing, and like he was in the locker room when he came in. Kaz was a writer at WWE at that point, and he was saying like I was this massive Hulk Hogan fan, and the first time I met him in person was when he came into the locker room to apologize first, like when he first got caught saying all the slurs, and like he, like Kaz was saying, like I was a massive Hulk Hogan fan, and seeing him in that moment not able to properly apologize and basically say, because like even CNN tried to brush under the rug, be like he apologized, right? And like Kaz like, no, not really. He said like just watch out for the cameras, brother. And like
that's a bad look.
Yeah,
too.
and he's like, this man who was larger than life to me left, like, yeah, I'm seeing him leave the room, and like he's never looked smaller to me in that moment. Like somebody so big just coming out looking so small because he like could not really apologize to, but like everyone who was there has said the same thing, which like it wasn't a real apology. If he, like, I wish I could have just been like, because like especially on this show, I want to be honest with people, and like I wish my feelings were just like I love this career because I was a huge fan of his when I was a kid, and like it's hard not to be. And I wish I could just be like, yeah, this is like these cool moments, but like it's impossible to me. What he did and what he continued to do for like the last like 10 years of his life far outweighs to me what he did on television.
Yeah, like if you look behind me, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
If you look behind me, there's 4 or 5 Hulk Hogan WrestleMania posters on the wall behind me, because for me those are like core childhood memories, and for me it's more about the WrestleMania brand. But when I look at those, you know, I'm conflicted, and it sucks that has to be the way it is. But I mean, life is complicated.
Yeah, like to be fair, like I was talking about this a while before. Like I was, it's hard. Like just because he passed away, it'd feel a lot more phony for me to switch up all of a sudden and just be like, yes, this is I'll give a career retrospective, just because it's the easier thing to do. And it sucks. Like I know death is never easy for anyone, and how we deal with death, everyone deals with it in different ways. And for me, it, especially like going forward and like looking at his legacy, if we just switch what the bad things we did under the rug because it's the convenient thing or the easy thing to do, like it does no one any favors, and like it also just helps and other people to do the same in the future. For like,
I was just gonna say, if we sweep it under the rug, it just perpetuates the whole thing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I have breaking news. Do you want to hear some breaking news unrelated?
Yeah.
Triple H has just announced that Triple Mania 33 will be streaming live on WWE's YouTube channel on August 16th. That's pretty cool. Triple Mania is like Triple A's like biggest show of the year, so that's cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, it has been a tough week from the start of the 80s. And like somebody brought up, like people are going to get used to that, especially like now you're going to see more and more of these stars, people who grew up in the 80s and 90s start passing away more and more.
Okay, here's a question that's what's the word it's dark. Who goes first? Flair or Vince? Because I think about their health. Like Flair's kind of like Flair's like TNA. TNA were down and out, but they just continued to live, and now they're kind of resurging. Flair is, he's been down and out physically and continues to live. And Vince, I mean, I know he worked out like a fiend back in the day. I'm sure he juiced. I don't know exactly what his health is these days, but what do you think? I know it's a dark question and maybe a little bit politically incorrect, but
it's my thing with Vince is I Honestly, his mom lived to like 100 something, so like I feel he's gonna be around forever. Oh yeah, his mom I think only died like 10-15 years ago.
Really?
Oh yeah, like she was around for a long time. I think if she wasn't 100, she was near 100 years old. But yeah, like and like Ric Flair is very much the Keith Richards of professional wrestling, where you're like, he's done so much drugs and alcohol.
Vince McMahon's mom, I apologize for cutting you off. I feel like I've been doing that a lot today. Vince McMahon's mom, Vicky, died 4 years ago at 100.
4 years. Yeah, I told you.
Wow.
Like I told you, she was there for a long time. Like the longevity in that family, like, and he has all the money in the world to keep him alive.
That's true. He could cryogenically freeze himself like Walt Disney did or whatever.
And he would, out of spite, despite everyone, and then start a new wrestling promotion at 104. Which, by the way, Hulk Hogan, and I wonder what happened with Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan's worked.
Well, the ticket sales were pretty abysmal, so I don't know what's going to go on with that. And I'll be much like when Vince passes away, it's going to be, I think, a similar sentiment, but a bit more skewed towards the negative, because I think what Vince did is all the things Vince has done are potentially worse. I don't know.
Like it's all, but yes, there will be I'm telling you, it's probably the people like staunchly defending Hulk Hogan and yelling at people for chastising him about like what he's done and said are the same people who are going to be defending Vince McMahon like to the end. Like a lot of them are it's going to be a circle of the people who are going to do both. Like I feel the same people who are like these staunch Hulk Hogan defender, like don't speak ill of him thing, and just want like a career, are the same people. Like also what I didn't like, what I saw online is people especially chastising like members of the like Black people who were reacting to Vince's death and like cracking jokes and things. Like you have no right to tell, especially like Black people who are the most offended by what he said and the people targeted by him. Like, just like you have the right to be like, I'm sad about this, and I understand they have the right to feel however they want about this guy who, like, the vast majority of them liked and respected, and also were hurt by what he did, like really, really hurt by what he said. And like they have all the right in the world to be angry at him because they were also bought in, and then find out this person doesn't respect you as a human being.
I've lost a lot of respect for Undertaker over the past decade or so.
Yeah, for people saying it's just about politics, no, because like the company WWE itself is as tied into the Trump administration as anything. Like it really is the like gross stuff that he said and continued to do throughout. Like there've been a lot of controversies, especially like with his freestyle beer brand, him like allegedly firing a Black model because he like she didn't fit the brand image she wanted when he was doing like his tour with his beer brand.
Good God, I'm learning stuff I didn't even know. God,
there's a documentary on Netflix called Nobody Speak about Vince McMahon's lawsuit against Gawker, which Gawker, yes, was a shitty site. Like,
you mean Hogan's lawsuit against Gawker?
Yeah. But that
I never watched that. That came out a long time ago. I should check that out.
Like, it is a good doc, but also like to see that he in part played a role in the attacks on free speech. Like he left that lawsuit left a gap that Donald Trump is exploiting to this day, attacking journalists.
Yeah,
and free speech, like because that lawsuit was bankrolled by Peter Thiel, a billionaire.
Speaking of terrible people,
who is like vehemently anti-free speech.
And I don't think that we are celebrating the death of Hogan by any stretch of the imagination. So I disagree with that sentiment again. And I'm not trying to pick fights in the comments. I hope people realize that.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about something more fun?
Yeah. The other topic this week.
Do you have a favorite Ozzy Osbourne song? I was never a big Ozzy guy. Like I understand his contributions to metal and hard rock and all that. Absolutely get it. I never was a big Ozzy guy.
Dio guy.
Diminishing his talent. No, I was not a Sabbath guy. You know, just wasn't my thing. But I understand. You know, like what like when an Ozzy Osbourne song comes on, I'm not mad at it, and like I'll get down with some Crazy Train, but like I wouldn't call myself a fan.
Yeah, I would go with War Pigs. War Pigs. Again,
Okay.
like I'm like you. I wasn't a big Black Sabbath fan, but I quite enjoy War Pigs. One of my very good songs.
All right.
But yes,
What else is going on in the world?
So this week, and like we've heard about it the last like couple weeks, but like it has come out that Travis Scott and WWE have parted ways, which to me leads to the bigger conversation of celebrities in professional wrestling. But apparently, Travis Scott was supposed to be the mystery celebrity in the first WWE 2K25 download pack that like never came out, and they replaced him, I think, with El Grande Americano. I think that's who they replaced him in the pack with. I haven't checked. I have the game. I just haven't checked.
I believe that is the story.
Yeah. Like apparently they had a deep falling out as he was apparently training for a WWE match potentially at SummerSlam, and the whole thing like looks bad on WWE because you did plug this guy into your biggest, like the John Cena's last ever match, him breaking a record, like one of the wrestling records, and you have him come out on your biggest show of the year, and you plug him in there, and you with no other intention and like no plan, no reassurance that he'll be ready to do anything else. And
my big issue is, and again, I'm not a regular WWE viewer, so just that's my caveat. But he straight up mollywopped Cody in the side of the face, and he is never going to get his receipt for that, and that does not sit well with me. Kayfabe or non-kayfabe.
Yeah, but
because if you look at like when that happened, like the camera shot, it just looked like he slapped him. But when they released the footage of the Roman camera at the side, he cuffed him good.
Oh yeah, Cody had a big old black eye. But yeah, like especially Travis Scott, who has his controversies, is like, especially if you're going into the world of WWE, and it's something like in recent years, we've got like an unfair skew because like everyone who has joined has put in the work. Like the Bad Bunny has done so much to like bring up the scale and what's expected of like a celebrity going into WWE, that they sort of expected Travis Scott to go the same way. And he clearly didn't have the same interest and drive that.
Like, see, I think you can tell with the celebrity things, which ones are not fans, and big fans. And like Bad Bunny, big fan. You could tell he put the work in, and I was super impressed. I don't know anything about Bad Bunny. I know that in like Latino music, he's like a giant superstar. But like
just
his matches he had were I enjoyed it. Even, and as much as I hate to say it, what's his face? Logan Paul. I don't care for Logan Paul.
Yeah.
But he looks the part. The work is good, and I haven't watched a Logan Paul match that I've disliked, and I haven't watched all of them. But like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like Ophelia saying, like Jelly Roll moving to Florida to train. Like he's been putting in the work and trying to get in shape for this match. And it's a type of thing, especially like somebody Travis Scott who doesn't have the physicality, like doesn't have the body. Like there are other ways to accentuate things. If you're not like the most imposing physical threat and like aren't the biggest athlete, like the best athlete in the world, like wrestling's got the way to work around that and accentuate your positives.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to put in the work and be there. It's like enough time to do it and like put aside the other stuff. And it's clear that he wasn't like, he, in all fairness, was a fan going in. Like, again, I don't love that he, as a diehard Mick Foley fan, took the Cactus Jack name himself for his brand. Although, like,
he that either.
Oh yeah, his like, he has a whole brand called Cactus Jack, like clothing. That's why he's got like the hardcore WWE title that he carries around with him.
Tonight on WWE Vault at 7 p.m. Eastern, they're going to be showing SummerSlam 2008. Anyway, sorry.
Yep. But yeah, like, and I agree with that, Fernando. They've been going too much too soon. Whereas like it used to be like one maybe at WrestleMania, like Lawrence Taylor or whatever, which is wild that he was in the main event. But like it used to be a little more special, but because of like their Netflix deal and their Gourmet stream, and they've got like all these big sponsors and stuff that allow them to reach out to more celebrities and allow them to pay the celebrities more to do it. Like they've been going to it a little too much, and sometimes it's going to back. It's like the name and image likeness, the NIL program, where they get people from college. Like it has paid off for them. Like there are a lot of wrestlers like through the Performance Center who weren't professional wrestlers at all, were just from other sports, from other college sports, like and who have like now are becoming like not Braun Breaker, but so much as like Tiffany Stratton, who was just trained at the Performance Center. And like it did turn out, but like there were a lot of people for a little while who like there are quite a lot of failures there. So it was about time that like a celebrity like was not like it felt like somebody was not going to be able to keep up against their best wishes. And like sadly, or like depending on how you feel about Travis Scott, it was Travis Scott who like either didn't want to spend that much time at the Performance Center, or it could have been like just a straight up falling out of her money, or like getting paid over the video game, because he used to like for whatever reason wasn't as invested in it as other people. And like especially when WWE was already investing a lot in you and trusting you with the biggest main event, one of the biggest main events they'll ever have, which is
that slot doesn't really get much bigger than
Cena's especially if you're a fan.
Event.
John Cena's last main event where he's setting the record of the 17th world title. It makes them look silly. Like again, I think Travis Scott is big enough of a star where it like a year from now they could work it out and he'll be back in there if he wants to come back. Go ahead.
My feelings on the celebrity thing have always been the same. I'm not a big fan of it, but I understand why.
Yeah.
It's trying to get, yourself on SportsCenter or MTV News or places and reach fans that you wouldn't normally reach. That's why we get Snooki at WrestleMania doing the back handspring. And that's why we get that boxer guy. What was his name? Floyd Mayweather. And that's why we get Travis Scott and Jelly Roll, blah, blah. It's trying to reach out to fan bases, and I can get that. But I don't know. So I think it cheapens the business a little bit sometimes. And WWE is not the only one that's guilty of this. Every like bigger name, WCW did it with Rodman and with Leno,
Taylor,
and TNA's done it with that chick from Survivor in the greatest match of all time with Sharmell, and AEW's done it as well. So I mean, no one's guilty. I mean, even small indie companies do it they'll take a local radio DJ and put him in a match or whatever. Like it's
Ron Funches wrestled in GCW.
Yeah, it's just a thing to try to get your name and your product on more eyes. And I understand it from a marketing ploy, but my diehard wrestling fanness and love of the industry is like, you don't get to come here. You go back to your thing and let us do our thing. Which is, I guess, kind of the definition of gatekeeping, and when I hear myself say it, but you know what I mean, right?
I did appreciate that you didn't mention, because I think we all now think of him as a full-fledged wrestler, former WCW champion David Arquette, when you're listing off celebrities, because he is a true wrestler.
I mean, he tried to make good and did a little bit of it.
Did you watch his documentary?
No, I didn't. I keep forgetting to, but I watched the GCW match with Nick Gage, and I think that was blown a little bit out of proportion. But is that documentary good? Is it worth checking out?
Yeah, it is. It is a good documentary, and it's funny watching. Anywhere? It was on Netflix. It might be off now. Yeah, it's funny watching that David Arquette's documentary and the Dark Side of the Ring GCW episode.
The Nick Gage one,
yeah, the Nick Gage one, because they're both you literally see both sides of the same scenario explained, and like the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
of like Nick Gage being like, he started freaking out a little early, and that's why he cut his neck. And like Nick Gage, again, guy who's been cut a million times, so to him it's nothing. And you can tell the difference of like somebody who's never had it's like he didn't cut a vein. Like I knew he wasn't in serious danger because he didn't hit an artery.
But his David Arquette's definition of serious danger very different than
exactly.
Didn't hit an artery. Yeah, Mike Tyson, great example too. Sorry to cut you off there, but like that was a big turning point for WWE in the Monday Night Wars. So
yeah. In all fairness, I did. How do I have it somewhere here? How do I put it? I have it somewhere in my apartment. Actually, it's actually going on now. The Fantasia Film Festival in Montreal. David Arquette was here to premiere his movie, which is a very good like slasher movie that he did, Tripper. If you haven't seen it, it's a really fun movie. But he was here to premiere that, and he signed my copy of Ready to Rumble.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And like the joy on his face when somebody comes up to like talk wrestling with him is super sweet. Like I thought like there was part of me was like, is he gonna be nervous to talk about it? Because like the reaction, like, which is fair, like that to this day, of people still being mad at him for. I'm not saying Fernando's mad at him. He's just saying but like people angry at him for. I like honestly, I don't get the anger at all because he would have done what anyone would have done, which is like, I'm a fan. They're putting me in this position. It's
like he didn't do that. WCW
did it. Yeah, and he just like agreed to it. But yeah, like he could not be nicer, and like legitimately loved wrestling, and I still think there's like a black mark over him about that like I would like to see him
a little bit non-deserved.
Get his flowers a little bit as like because out of like celebrities who have been in wrestling, he got like tarred and feathered afterwards.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
fair. For what WWE is doing on the regular now.
And Fernando, that's a great point. The first WrestleMania, they built a ton of celebrities.
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper, Mr.
Cyndi Lauper should get
I know
credit.
It sounds silly when we talk about Liberace, but in 1985, Liberace was a big deal. And Billy Martin, and I think Muhammad Ali was like the WrestleMania, the first couple of WrestleManias they were kind of built around.
Like Cyndi Lauper deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Because
I'm surprised she's not, to be honest.
It's insane that she's not. Like, you're telling me somebody who, because like a lot of them were like, some of those celebrities that they had were a little like past their prime. Like Cyndi Lauper was the moment. She was MTV. She was like, this was like legitimately the Bad Bunny of her time, like the #1 music star, and gave them legitimacy. And her doing a music video with wrestlers in it, like it helped bring so many eyes, and somebody who like deserves the respect. And like, if WWE is doing a Hall of Fame with celebrities in it, like there are like the vast majority they are less deserving than she is. Like she helped that company so much.
I agree with you, because that was like Girls Just Want to Have Fun 1985, like peak. You're totally right. I'm surprised she's not. I wonder.
Yeah, like every year people ask like why she's not, and like there's never like. She's like constantly overlooked, and like she said she would like to be in the Hall of Fame because like it did mean a lot to her. She's like, she was a fan, like it helped bring female eyes to professional wrestling at a time where it was heavily male dominated, and like you had one of the biggest like female pop stars in the world on your TV show. Like that was like one of those that like absolutely worked. and help bring the brand forward.
Because women's wrestling was like an afterthought.
Yeah.
But I mean, that put like Wendy Richter as like, I don't want to say on par with Hogan, but like she was in Hogan's Rocket Wrestling cartoon. Like she was like the big female baby face.
Or he's right, like Ozzy Osbourne, who like just
didn't he work a few WWF shows?
Yeah, quite a few, like including did a special intro 2 years ago for War Games.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they played War Pigs. And like came in and shot sort of like lip-synced over it. And like that was his like last big thing he did in WWE. But like it was
that's right. Ozzy did manage the Bulldogs at WrestleMania 3 with that pink salmon jacket. I gotta look this up now. Bear with me.
Yeah, but like going forward, I think WWE needs to, and I know they're just doing it for SummerSlam. It's the timing's off, but like I know it's good for them for like social media and engagement, but they need to find it like more sparing using celebrities, especially when you have a roster who is desperate, like a whole bunch of like incredibly talented wrestlers who are desperate to get on pay-per-views, and like say for example Bailey and stuff, who again they're not going to complain, or like they understand why another wrestler like a celebrity's on the card, because they know it help them. But like,
look at that salmon ensemble there. Look at that. That's fabulous. I forgot all about that.
I've got to go buy my suit for my brother's wedding next week.
That's the one, baby.
Yeah. Although the salmon colored jacket has been ruined by Mark Henry as the lying ass jacket, the retirement jacket.
Oh, one of the greatest segments of all time. I know that I don't want to get off on a tangent because that's not what we're talking about, but I bought that hook, line, and sinker, and I was like, that's a great piece of business. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, like Ozzy's suit walks so Mark Henry's could run.
Yeah, Mania 2 had the refrigerator Perry and a bunch of other football players. I don't know.
My favorite one is because like going back at it, people don't understand the kind of cultural like chokehold Whose Line Is It Anyway had at that moment. Like it was the biggest improv has ever been, because Drew Carey going onto the Royal Rumble, being on the Royal Rumble to promote pay-per-view improv.
And he's in the Hall of Fame for that one appearance.
I think he's done more. Did he do a couple? Since. Yeah,
but Cyndi Lauper's not. I'm shocked by that.
But like, and also the worst elimination of all time, which makes no sense. It did, like, to me, made the Hardy Boys look stupid because they had a 2-on-1 on Drew Carey. Could have easily eliminated Drew Carey and stall both of them, like stand tall in the ring and eliminate like whoever comes in, like 2-on-1 going forward. But they decide with Drew Carey there, decide to just fight themselves, even though they were still very much a tag team at that point, and just leave Drew Carey alone. It was the silliest like Royal Rumble elimination that really bugs me to this day. But yeah, like the fact that he was there to promote pay-per-view improv, pay-per-view Whose Line. Yeah, that was right after true. Like the chokehold at that time Whose Line had, and like the like superstardom of Wayne Brady coming out of there. That like, especially like every time somebody would be promoting a movie or a TV show, they always get the same question, which are like, because improv was so big and it came off of that, like around that time. Like I remember every interviewer would be like, so how much did you improv on set? I'm like, dude, they have writers. Some actors just can't improv and do like improv comedy. Not all, in fact, the vast majority of improv, not great. Yeah, also Pete Rose.
Oh my God, Pete Rose, legend. I'm pissed at baseball for switching it up after he passed, and all of a sudden there's a chance he might get in now. I mean,
I would like. There is also another thing with Pete Rose, that outside of the gambling, which like, oh yeah, that they
Is there?
Oh yeah, he's got the Karl Malone problem, I would say.
What's the Karl Malone problem?
Do
you want to tell me off the air?
They dated people under 18.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I heard that about. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And Karl Malone got like a 12-year-old pregnant. And
I remember. Yes, I remember hearing about that now.
For years, denied the parentage of that child.
This is a very dark episode of
the
Brunch Gimmick. Happy Sunday, everyone.
I hope everyone has a good Sunday after this. But yes, I think the WWE has been turning it a little too much, and eventually this was going to happen where also the NBA is bringing him back too, which is super. Like they had him at like a judge on the dog contest, and everyone's like, "Why the hell is Karl Malone here?" Even an NBA player just like retweeted a video criticizing Karl Malone because they wished him happy birthday. I'm like, we know he's a creep, but that whole other thing. But yes, the like WWE's been turning to it a little much, and stuff like this was bound to happen where a celebrity didn't have the time to put in, especially if he expressed interest to wrestle, and like you invest in him to be there a few months from now on another big show, and he can't do it. Like in the end, like it makes both sides look silly, and I think they need to vet a little better. Just because, like, right now it really seems like, do you have an incredible social media following? Yes. And do you are you a fan? Yes. All right. Well, we're going to try to make this work without probably vetting how good they are or how badly they want to do it. Like they can do a little more, because they do have a high success rate of making people look good on screen. Like even Snooki looked good because they just kept her in for like that one back.
Yeah, that was a definition of accent the positives, hide the weaknesses. Because I remember that handspring. I don't remember a goddamn thing from the rest of that match or who was in it.
I don't know who was in Trish. It was a tag match. I think it was her and Trish, and Trish had. Yeah, I think Trish had brown hair at that point. Like she just dyed her hair. So like they matched. But yeah, like I think at the end of the day, they like WWE especially is currently like over reliance on celebrities to pop ratings, and I don't think they have to at this point. Like they are already getting good ratings without, and they could cater a little more to their fan base. Yeah, there it is.
Didn't something happen with Morrison and a different woman who was supposed to be in this match or something? Yeah. There's a story there that I can't remember. I'm gonna have to do some research on that.
The other thing that Ophelia brought up here, which I do want to talk about, the Tony Hinchcliffe show getting canceled, which like.
I don't know who he is or what his deal is, but I know at WrestleMania, didn't he tell a bunch of jokes that were a little bit not for good?
No, I literally, before WWE wiped it off the face of the internet, made a point of listening to almost the entire thing, and it was all bad. Like I've talked about this before, but he is not a good comic. He's one of the offshoots of Joe Rogan. He's one of them that got famous because he was friends with Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan had him on his podcast all the time. Like he's the one that spoke at the Trump rally and said stuff about Puerto Rican people. It's like he is the type of comic that relies entirely on shock value without a good punch. Like he says the same recycled.
So he's all sizzle and no steak.
Exactly. Like it's like a very like this is somebody who's like spent the week watching really good comics kill it and come up with original ideas. He's very much like recycling the same old racist jokes.
Okay.
That your grandparents told.
Yeah.
in a new voice, and nowadays very profitable venture. He has made himself very rich doing it. He does a show called Kill Tony, but like it also makes sense that it's funny because I saw a report online that like, well, they didn't do well because Paul Heyman wasn't involved this time, and Paul Heyman was like the like star of it. His set was also not good and like very like it's like teetered to pretty offensive. Which like yes, it's a roast, but there are also ways to do it where it's not again hack racist jokes.
Yeah,
which is like,
and I love roast. Those Comedy Central roasts are some of my favorite stuff. But if you don't know the art, then it's going to end badly for.
But yeah, we're supposed to do it with Cody Rhodes. We're supposed to do this late night show with Cody Rhodes as a guest, and it makes sense, especially when people are in New York City. The show's in New York City where there's a million other things to do. So like, it isn't surprising me. Like wrestling stuff aside, there's like 1,000 other things you could do that night.
And there's indie shows going on.
Yeah, exactly. There's independent shows,
like a mini collective sort of thing, and a bunch of other stuff. So I'll go see a racist comic. Go see awesome indie wrestling.
Like the tickets.
I'm gonna go see some awesome indie wrestling.
Apparently, the ticket sales weren't worth what they wanted, so that they canceled it.
Which that's like a damn shame, isn't it?
Yeah. Which like again surprised me a little bit because like he does have a following. But again, like it's wrestling fans, and there was also a lot of bad press about the show he did at SummerSlam, and the jokes weren't good. Like a lot of that was played to silence. Like I was listening to the crowd reactions when you could hear these saying like 20 people laugh in a crowd of like a few hundred, it's a problem.
Fair.
And you have a crowd of people who might not be fans of Tony Hinchcliffe or fan of the wrestlers that are on the panel who want to see them. And like, they don't know what they're getting into. So yeah, it's a hard crowd to play to.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Because they're not good stand-ups. That's the thing. Like I have listened to thousands of hours of stand-up, and like you can tell when somebody is like, again, it's profitable because like it's what certain segment of people want to hear, but it's not good joke writing.
Yeah,
it's the same jokes over again without.
Who do you think? Who's some of your favorite stand-ups? That I'm not an aficionado of stand-up comedy by any stretch, but I have a few favorites. Who are some dudes that you enjoy? If we can take a little sidebar before we get out of here, because I really have to pee.
Yeah.
I'm almost 50. I have to pee every 5 minutes. I'm sorry.
No, we were going to wrap up in a second.
You need a nap too.
Yeah. Dan Soder, Patton Oswalt.
Didn't Patton Oswalt get canceled, or is that Louis C.K. that I'm confusing him with?
Louis C.K.
Okay. Did he ever come back, or is he just done?
He's still touring, and still like he Mark Maron is. I actually saw. There's a legendary speech Mark Maron gave that like he's talked about that like meant a lot to him, because like it's in the middle right before his podcast really exploded. He gave a speech at the Just for Laughs Festival that I was in the room for. And as he was walking out the speech, he dropped his stickers, and I gave back to him. Like, part of me is like, I wonder if he's gonna give me a sticker, and he didn't. But the next year I ran it.
Should have just took one.
The next year I ran into him again, and I had started listening to his podcast at this point. And I told him like, hey, I really enjoyed your podcast, and he gave me a sticker afterwards.
There you go.
But like, I saw him that year do stand up, and he's great. Like the WTF is like even him, like he's saying he's the I think in a few months he's rounding down his podcast, which is like he's saying like he bears some responsibility for the overabundance of podcasts these days, because his was like one of those that really like brought podcasts to another level. Sarah Silverman's great. Man, actually I've seen Jesselnick live. I think I saw John.
Like Jesselnick, because Jesselnick is I don't know, like he gets away with it. It's like dark shit, but I think it's just like
because he's a
we
better
get
joke
it.
writer
It's
than
just
the
like,
other ones.
yeah, it's like
and it's also how you point the
shit.
joke.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And the voice you're using. John Mulaney. I've never seen John Mulaney do stand up. I saw John Mulaney live doing Oh Hello with Nick Kroll, which was the Broadway show. It was right before they brought it to Broadway. It was the show that was based on their characters from the Too Much Tuna YouTube sketches they did. Which is
what about a guy like Bill Hicks? Do you know Bill Hicks?
Yeah, I know Bill
Very
Hicks.
old.
I never.
I wish he was around these days because I'd love to hear what Bill Hicks has to say.
Yeah.
And you know who I think's really underrated? I don't know if he really does it anymore, but oh man, now the name's out of my head. It'll come back in a minute. Young guy was on SNL. Almost married Ariana Grande. Pete Davidson. I think Pete Davidson is a great stand-up.
Yeah,
I like it.
Like I've told this story before, but like the Pete Davidson effect very well. I was literally downtown at the Just for Laughs Festival. He was walking out of the hotel, was immediately swarmed by like 10 women. Like they were waiting outside.
We're over 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson has big dick energy.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy is the GOAT. The funny thing about Eddie Murphy is the general consensus that whenever you bring up Eddie Murphy stand-up now, and the first sentence you have to say is, boy, you couldn't get away with any of that now. But goddamn, is it good.
Yeah.
It ages badly, but like, yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I never saw Chris Rock, but people say Chris Rock's really good too, but I don't know if I've ever seen a Chris Rock routine. I don't watch a lot of comedy, but
yeah, I saw, again, this was before this was like right when he was doing his comeback, like post Chappelle show, and was starting to get back out there more and more. But I saw Dave Chappelle live.
I've never seen him either, but I hear he's really, really good.
He is,
but he's said some questionable things too, right?
Well, it's like him continually attacking the trans community, like, and every special he's done since has like some like 15-20 minutes of him just laying into trans people, which is like super weird. There's like there especially for him, like there's no joke at some of it. It's just like him giving a sermon about it.
And why does it bother people so much? I don't understand.
I don't.
I don't want to go off
like especially for me, he's one of like when I was listening to people, he would have been one of my favorite all times. Like Chappelle Show is one of my favorite things. Like I watched his Killing Them Softly special about like a million times. Like I used to be when I was a kid, I used to be able to recite that back and forward. Like it was his 2000. Like I watched it because I saw it a few months after it aired. So my brother's friend had HBO, and we watched it in his basement, like after St. Patrick's Day.
That was like the holy grail for stand-ups back in the day. And even now, it was an HBO. Yeah. Now it's more of a Netflix special. You know who else was really good, but you got to go way, way, way back? Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Before he like hit it with Ace Ventura, he was a good stand-up too.
Well, yeah, especially like sketch comedy on In Living Color. That's where like really where he broke out and was able like to show all of himself. Was like that show brought him to a new level. But that will do it for this week on the Brunch Gimmick.
Can I say something, Lawrence?
Yeah,
this was a really, really fun hour of chatting with you. I really, really enjoyed this. So I appreciate you sticking it out, and now you can go to bed.
Yeah. Like I'm starting to feel like a little lightheaded.
You're fading a little bit, brother. Yeah. I could tell. So let's get you out of here.
Boris, where can people find you? Are you back on Saturday night this week?
You can find me on the social media on the X here, BB Boris 1 on the Instagram. I'm on the Blue Sky and all that stuff as well. No, there is no SNL this week because Love Wrestling, the media branch of Love Wrestling, is going to be expanding into more coverage of PLEs and pay-per-views.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, this is SummerSlam weekend, so check out my homeboy Pluggo on Saturday night's going to do some coverage of SummerSlam. I might pop in if I watch it. We'll see what happens. But I urge you to go onto Twitch and check out On Demand last night's episode of Saturday Night Live where we watch Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling. I was joined by Keiichi Matsunaga and White Shirt William Taylor, and it was a lot of fun. So check that out. we'll be back in a couple of weeks and we'll figure out what we're going to do. And also this week, of course, Friday night is LPW 39. If you're not in the Edmonton area and don't have a ticket to be there, you can check us out live 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain on IWTV for LPW 39. It's going to be some good stuff. So check that out, and I appreciate all of the support. Lawrence, is that a ride or die hat?
It is a ride or die.
I've walked by those 100 times at the merch table, and every time I've walked by it, I'm like, I need to get one of those, and I never do. But yeah, that's a sick hat.
Yeah, I had Speedball Mike Bailey mule it to me.
Really?
Yeah, he was at LPW.
He's killing it in AEW. Hey, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying Jet Speed and all that.
Him and Veda were just at Comic-Con because he is in a documentary called Keep It Kayfabe, which is about like they followed him around for like a WrestleMania, his last WrestleMania weekend last year. The camera crew followed him around, and it's really like about the backstage of like creating a match. It's very like shows like the entire backstage, and like he wanted to show the joy of professional wrestling.
They're good folks.
Yeah, and I'm very excited about that documentary, and the fact he got an opportunity to do a panel at San Diego Comic-Con was super cool. But yeah, it was just like that
I want to throw my hat in the ring for. Evil Uno, Mystery Wrestling are doing a 24-hour
stream.
I think it's a 6-man or an 8-man tag match. I called. Unfortunately, there's technical difficulties, and it's never seen the light of day. I remember watching it properly. But I called the entire 8 hours of Michael Richard Blaze's amazing. That was such a great day. I'm sad that commentary is lost to technical difficulties into the ether. But I am still throwing my hat in the ring. I will call that 8-man tag team match every second of the 24 hours. I don't know if anybody has any way to reach Evil Uno that I don't. But I am down for that. So if that's the thing you guys want to talk about, hit me up.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
And a great cause. Which,
it's Evil Uno in partnership with C4 and Mystery Wrestling. Our C4 every year does the Fighting Back show, and every year Evil Uno does a stream to help support the Fighting Back show, which supports the Canadian Cancer Society. So like he will be raising money for over 24 hours and doing one long match, a 24-hour, the world's longest match, which I'm a little bummed it's during the week. It's Monday to Tuesday. He's doing it.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. And I'll be at work for a lot of it, but like I'm very excited to watch that coming up. But yes, as for me, you can follow me at CartSandyG on all the socials. And I will be back here next week talking SummerSlam. Night 1, previewing night 2, and maybe some other stuff. We'll see. Thank everyone in the chat. Maria, Fernando, thank you for hanging out with me. Appreciate you guys. Philia.
I was her co-host, apparently. She wasn't my co-host. I was her co-host.
Yeah. Zach and Sandy, thank you for coming saying hi in the chat. We appreciate you, and we will see you back here. Same time, same place next week.